Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different than usual. I'm going to be going over how to set up every single site on each map in the ranked playlist. It's going to be the entire map pool. I'll start on Oregon. This is like the fan favorite classic map, so seems like a good place to start. I will go through every one of them, including like Emerald Plains, Outback, you know, the ones that aren't really fan favorites for a lot of people. But I'll be going over every single one of them, how I set the sites up personally. If you're solo queue, you obviously won't be able to do everything yourself, but if you have a team, you definitely can. Remember, this is a personal preference at the end of the day. There are some things that are set up differently, and there are some things that you should probably always set up the same. So, for example, this wall between the sites on Oregon, you should never reinforce. That's not like even personal preference, that's just something you have to do 100% of the time. You cannot be reinforcing this wall. Now, if you want to make head holes, if you want to make a vaultable rotate, if you want to make a walkable rotate, that's all personal preference stuff. There are benefits and downsides to each one of those. Now that I got that out of the way, I'm going to be going over the holes and rotates first. So like head holes, every single rotate near the site, or holes on the floor, for example, or above if it's a different site. But we're starting right here in Oregon. Let's start on the main wall. So I recommend making footholes on the right side of this. Just like this. I'm going to be going over reinforcements after, so just hold on there. But these footholes will stop anybody from jumping in big windows safely. You can hold an angle right here with a shotgun, SMG, whatever. Just fry them right when they jump in. You don't have to peek. A lot of people don't know you can just tuck in this corner even, and you're completely safe from that. Next thing, you can pop this hatch if you want. I do prefer doing it just in case you need to escape if they're like yinging you out or something and they're about to jump in. At least you have an exit. Now, the downside, if you're solo queue or something, your teammates might drop this and try to flank, which isn't a good idea all the time. And the attackers can also see you from below if they are a good team. And they can just hold the hatch the entire round. You can't play over here. So you want to come over here, you want to make your first rotate. I like making this a little crouch one. So that way, if the attackers do get control of attic, they can't just run into sight. They at least have to go up here and crouch, which is slower, obviously. That's why I do a lot of crouch rotates, especially when I'm in solo queue and I can't watch everything myself. So yeah, that's what I would do there. These are personal preference. I don't recommend doing these unless you have a full team and a good strat developed with this, but you can make footholes for this, because the benefit of doing it on the defense, you can hold the drop right here on pit, and they can't really see you very well. You can even go all the way back here and do it. Like that. And they obviously can't see if they're up top of the drop. Like, if they're crouched right here, they're not going to see you back there. And it will make them unsafe to drop. Like, they're going to be scared when they see that and don't even want to drop off to it. Also, it's good to put a frost mat right here if you didn't know. A really good frost mat spot. But that's for another video. Just a general tip here. I'll probably go over this every site for this playlist. Shoot the glass out, simple as that. Now you can hear anybody that goes on rappel. You can hear them run outside. You can hear where they're going. You want to do this for every window, so basically it helps your randoms if you're solo queue and your actual team if you're with them. Either way, it helps them understand if there's somebody on the rappel, just getting onto it, they'll hear it. And they won't be caught off guard like holding this angle on white stairs. Boom, somebody shoots this and kills you for free. Because now you will hear that every single time. Okay, next hole right here, as I was talking about in the intro. I like making head holes in solo queue personally, just so if I'm like downstairs or something or in this site, the attackers can't just run through the breach and run through here and kill me out of nowhere, and my teammates just let them. So that's why I usually do head holes, but a lot of the time I'll do a vaultable rotate if I'm with people. Now again, there are benefits to the runnable. You can just move around site faster, reposition, and you don't have to go right through the entire middle right here by the doorway. You're way more safe going over here. Unless the breach is open, obviously. But even in a late round, if there's nobody actually on the breach, then it's safe. Okay, next holes on this site, I always make holes below big window. I'll show you why. Kind of just like this. You don't have to do it very deep at all. And then I make one right here on white. This one's basically just to watch the white stairs. This is right below it right here. You can see the step. That's a really good one to hold, especially if they jump in this window. Get a free kill. I do a lot of these strats in my solo queue videos, by the way. Check that out if you haven't already. Self-advertisement, but I don't care. There is an entire playlist for this season's solo queue. We are solo queuing to champ. You guys have probably already seen those videos, though, if you're on this one. But for any new people, check that out where you can watch me use these strats in game. So yeah, we're below the big window now. A lot of times you can just hold this if you have a shotgun. Right when they jump in, free kill. They don't even check down here in ranked. Like, you can play this all around. If they did, you can even reinforce these two walls. And that way you can protect yourself better in case there's like a buck, a sledge, anybody with soft breach basically, or they can just shoot you. For the last hole, I believe, this one's personal preference as well. I don't like doing this in my solo queue games, again, for the same reasons. This one does have its downsides if you shotgun the right side of attic. Because, as you can see, if an attacker gets main stair control right here, they can literally watch this rotate for free. They don't even have to push the or expose to the dorm's door. So any defender rotating through there will be dead. It does have benefits sometimes, but I just recommend closing it off in solo. And for these walls, you obviously want to reinforce. Okay, last thing you can do, pop this hatch. You always want to do this. If there's a rumor below, you can come down here. There's an exact angle you can get right here. They have to pass these wood things, obviously. So you know they're going to pop out right here. It's going to be a free headshot every single time. They're usually not going to check that angle in ranks, but maybe one time they will. They'll drone it or something, so be wary. Okay, so starting with reinforcements, you want to reinforce off both walls and attic. Come over here to the other side of attic, reinforce these ones into trophy. Again, we already talked about this wall. It's up to you. Come over to master and reinforce these two walls. This is so the attackers can't rotate freely in between main stairs and trophy. They'll have to come through this door, which is obviously a lot more exposed. More high traffic. Reinforce the main breach right here. So that leaves you with two reinforcements. Last one, of course, goes right here on the other side of the dorm wall. This is to protect you from the big window right here. So now you don't have to worry about that. Since we're done with the reinforcements, let me show you some good shield spots. So obviously the default one, you want to put it like right here somewhere. If you put it far enough back, they can't really see it from main breach. So it's safer if you put it like right there. But at the same time, if you put it far up, this is what I prefer to do. You're safe from white stairs. You don't have to worry about that the entire time if there's somebody like top white. And you only have a trap like right here or something. Or a teammate holding it late. That way you can play off the shield, but you don't have to worry about it. And you can always just skew back if the breach is open and there's somebody here. And you're still not exposed to the breach. Again, personal preference with that. I'll show you an even better shield that I usually run for this. If you put it backwards like this, it's easier to actually see through the slits on the door. And a lot of time that'll be a free kill. Because I don't see the shield used too often in ranked, honestly. One more would be for like attic. You could either put it like back here, or you could go up here, put it like here before the pit drop. Kind of like that. That just makes it harder for them to push up, because there's a shield in the way as well. Keep in mind, it does work both ways though. I just recommend doing the shield right here. Oh yeah, last reinforcement, I forgot about this. You'd want to put it on the other side of attic. Again, there are benefits to both ways, but usually you'll see this reinforced and ranked. Sometimes you'll see people like make a rotate right here as well and extend into trophy from there and master, but I don't recommend that in ranked. Again, just reinforce these. That's the beauty of Siege. There's so many ways to play every site. Like, I just spent over 10 minutes talking about this site right here. That's crazy. I hope you guys like these in depth, because that's what I'm going to do. I can't stop myself from going on and on about it. But let's move on to the basement. Okay, so we're loading up to the basement site now, laundry and supply. I'd say this is actually the best site on this map for sure, but a lot of the time in ranked though, people like going upstairs first, so that's why I showed you that one as well first. So first holes, you want to make them right here on the E-box wall, on the left side facing out. Those are the only holes you need on this area. For bunker, you want to make a rotate right here, usually runnable so you can go in and out quickly, just in case you need to rotate. I'd recommend on the left as well, because if you're playing back here, you have more cover from the freezer door. And usually you want to play your shield far back like this. I'll show you the shield right away here first. Put it as far back as you can, really, like this kinda. You could even do farther if you wanted to. That way it's harder to destroy the shield if there's a Flores drone or something. Next hole, you want the rotate. I like making it on the left, honestly, but I've seen people do the middle. I've seen people do the left. It's whatever. It's a little vaultable one for me. And then I make holes like this. I'll show you why. So now having these holes, you can hold the walk-in right here through the double door on the front side of the site. So if you're playing like bunker back here with Warden, for example, like I'm doing, you can quickly do this and also help with the front side at the same time. You could also do 2 foot holes if you want to. That also works, but I just do the head hole so I can see better. Next holes, you want to do head holes right here. With a little bit of a rotate that you can vault through. Just like this. I'll show you the 2 default mirrors you want to do on this side as well afterwards. You want to do head holes right here. Everybody knows about these usually. And then some high holes up top. This is to watch the back stairs. Just like this. And by the way, if I didn't tell you, these are to watch the freezer come down. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's all the holes you need on the organ basement. Let's go and do the reinforcements. So first one, you want to do left side of the freezer wall. And this is where your first mirror is going to go as well. Put it far right on this so you can hold this. Good one, my spots are like right here on this locker. Or up top on that thing. So they can't ash charge your mirror right away. Giving you guys some bonus tips too, look at that. Come over here, reinforce the other side of these head holes. You can see this is a common theme. You want to reinforce and put the head holes next to it. I know that's common sense stuff for a lot of players, but I'm just saying for the newer players. I know there's going to be a lot of newer players watching this video. I'm reinforcing the other side of electric right here. You definitely want to reinforce these. Because now, if they open this hatch, which they usually do, you can play safely here on sieqe, which is like what the tarps are called right here. And they can't shoot you from the hatch unless they have a Habana. That's like the only way they can counter it, or throw an ace from up top, but that'll never happen, trust me. Another bonus tip, always make sure you have like barb right here before the bottom of the stairs, or even on the bottom too, like on both. Or like a trap or something, so you don't get flanked from the stairs later on. Because usually that does happen. Next hole goes right here on the supply closet wall. Or next reinforcement next to the hole, sorry. This is also where your next mirror is going to go, so put it far left on this one. And this is, of course, to watch the front side as well. I'd recommend these mirrors because the 2 players on these mirrors can support each other off of them. Like, if they try to Habana, say, from this one, you can shoot anything off of it from safety. And they can't do that with this one, obviously, but if there's a freezer player deep in here, they can. But they can help each other out. Like, if somebody's holding this one, they obviously won't be able to push this door to kill the guy playing on this mirror. Like, if you're playing the mirror right here. The only way to kill them is to drop that hatch really quick, so you have to be worried about that, of course. Now, you can reinforce this wall and bunker if you want to. Sometimes that is done. I don't recommend it, because if they get control of bunker from you, like the attack, they have a safe spot to sit right here, and they have full control at that point. If they don't, though, you can always wallbang at least. And then the holes, of course, that I told you about. I don't feel like you need a reinforcement unless you plan on giving bunker up later. Then I'd recommend reinforcing it. Then you can use another reinforcement later for that. But I wouldn't do that. And then the next 3 reinforcements, there's a hatch here. We just went over this one. And then the main hatch, obviously, on the E-box. Right here. So try to reinforce all those hatches. Get like a roamer to do that or something. Sometimes even 2 people to reinforce them. Always use the people that have like the least amount of utility to reinforce the hatches. If you have a team. Otherwise, just someone's got to do it in solo queue. That's pretty much it. You have 2 reinforcements left. I'll show you if you want to do like one more here. Sometimes you can go up here, reinforce these 2 walls. This pretty much makes it so they can't get a good cutoff if somebody's playing on the top of tower over here. You'd really only see this in comp most of the time, though. Like, you don't see this in ranked ever. But if somebody's playing up here and they have a rotate here or something, the only way to clear them out is to go up here, watch the rotate. Or they can just come back to site this way, because this wall is reinforced. They just have to worry about the 2 doors. And that, I guess. But if you can open this, they can completely cut off the stairway, and they can't rotate back to site, so I'd say reinforce that if you do have time and resources. That's pretty much everything, though, in the organ basement. A more simple site, obviously. This one's been played out so many times at this point. It's the main comp site for this. So yeah, I hope you understand it better now. Okay, so I loaded into the third site. It's going to be the meeting kitchen. The site is way better than dining kitchen. Never go to that site. I'm not even going to go over that in the video. I'll do it briefly right here for you if you did want to see it. So instead of extending out into meeting, basically, you just reinforce these two off. And then come over here, reinforce these two. Make a rotate on this wall. Again, this is for the other site. Make footholds here on this one. Reinforce this one. And now you try to play into shower. Maybe even play a guy up top in small tower. Well, like in a zombie or something. Or a Jaeger. I know a Jaeger's really good here. If anybody watches Pro League, there's been some crazy plays made up here. But yeah, that's pretty much how you hold this. You have to hold on up top there in small tower. Otherwise, they can thermite the wall from above. And they open the entire breach up. And that is not ideal. And then I recommend like a big vaultable rotate here, of course, if you're doing that strat on dining. But again, I don't recommend playing dining, so pretend these holes aren't here. You don't have to do all that. First thing I do on the meeting site, though, is barricade this door for any lurkers around this area. You should just reinforce these off, ideally. I'll show you the simple way to do it for this site. Make a little rotate right here. You can make that a vaultable one again if you want. Again, personal preference with a lot of those things. I don't even know why I reinforced this so far. I'm supposed to show you the holes first, but whatever. Not a big deal. I like putting a little rotate right here in security too. You should try to play in this area more. You got to hold on to Z Hall, which is this hallway right here, and then security for this site. So of that, and then the main rotate, it's up to you which side you want to do. Usually this one's going to be the best though. You make it like a bigger rotate, kind of like this, so you can get through fast. And you can hide behind this if you need to later. If you do the rotate on this side, the problem is, you can also do head holes here if you want, I guess, but with the rotate being here, they can see you all the way from the main door right here. So it's up to you if you want to reinforce this off, or make head holes, or just leave it. I usually just leave it, especially since I solo queue mostly. I always pop this hatch as well. I play up top heavy. You need to play up top on this site for it to be successful. I always pop this one too. I like doing footholes on this wall. This is going to be another personal preference thing. You can do these if you want, or just double reinforce. I feel like this just puts more pressure on the other team to get here in this area. Keep in mind, it does open up the, yeah, I'll just show you. It does open this up, like they can see right in the site from these holes. But you really shouldn't have anybody playing in this area anyways, honestly. Maybe over here will be a bigger problem. They can see the rotate. So you could also do footholes on this one if you want. Again, I just reinforce them off usually. Okay, I'm going to reinforce the walls down here now before we go upstairs. So you want to do the two meeting split walls. These are very important. Especially this one over here. A lot of people like doing a default plant in this corner. They just tuck in right here after they breach the wall. And it usually works. Again, this is the offsite still. It's not very good compared to the other two, but it is winnable if you play it the right way. I also always barricade this door, because usually you have nobody watching split up here. Okay, so you want to reinforce this wall here between security and kitchen. Just for more cover in the site, especially late if they get the hatch open. I'd recommend opening this hatch up as well, but you could reinforce this one. That's up to you. Okay, I'm going to head upstairs now. I believe we got everything besides the stage walls. So again, you're upstairs. Shoot the glass off the windows. I'm going to say this every single time. And shoot the radio. You can make these holes down here and play in security and watch the big window jump in. And then you can have a rotate here. You want to make your attic rotate if you're doing this. If you're not extending in here, you don't even want to do this. Like, reinforce the hatch off. Don't reinforce these. And then come in here. Don't even worry about the rotate. For your shield, the best spot's usually like right here. Because what the attacker's going to do is breach this wall, which is why you want to reinforce it. Basically, the X factor or the win condition on this side, if you have hatch control right here. That's why upstairs is so important. What I'm also going to do is reinforce this and barricade this door. So that's why I usually try to hold up top in solo queue. Reinforce these two walls in attic. Basically, what we're going to be doing is playing in attic the entire round. And then we can rotate to kitchen if they're pushing that side. Do the rotate here and play above this side. So yeah, basically the win condition, if you have hatch control, you should be good still. They can't get a plant down on the stage, obviously. You have plenty of space to see everything. And this shield does help you a lot for people pushing the breach. Usually in ranked, they're not going to expect this. You can peek off of it still. You can chill in the corner here. Very good strat. Make sure you shoot the glass, by the way, though. Like, here's their point of view of the shield. Like, this would be very scary pushing this, because they could be watching you on the angles and then just pre-fire you. And if you see they're not even going for it, just literally chill in the hatch all around. You can see the rotate from here as well. And you should be good, honestly. So I accidentally reinforced the kids' walls between kids and dorms. Don't do that. I was trying to show you for the other side, the kitchen dining first, but I went back and changed it. So instead of reinforcing that, your last two go right here on this wall. I did go over this earlier on the faux holes, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. I'll go show you the walls I reinforced just so you know what ones to keep. So you keep everything down here how I had it. So pretty much cap the video off after this. Of course, I barricaded everything, so I have to go through these. So don't reinforce these if you're playing on the other site. This is mainly for the kitchen site here. And obviously you don't want to reinforce most of the stuff you did for this one. So yeah, I was trying to do both at once, but then I changed my mind, so don't reinforce these walls. You can still have a rotate here if you want to. I'd recommend the rotate. Just either barricade off white or have somebody playing in here, so you don't get flanked, obviously, when you're playing an attic. You have to worry about all this stuff. Again, I made these holes as well, so you can watch the big window jump in from here. Just like so. I showed you this earlier on the upstairs site. Works for this one as well. Remember, I always pop all the hatches most of the time. So yeah, you do have plenty of reinforcements for everything you need here if you pop the hatches. Again, don't reinforce these. Come over here instead. Reinforce these walls. I'm trying not to confuse any like newer players here. Reinforce these two. The full holes are optimal for higher level of play. You can also do the full holes on this side. That might be better, honestly. They can still see deep in the sight off that. Let me go see. I'm trying to learn with you which side's better. I think I've seen both sides done in Pro League. Yeah, if you like do this side, they can kind of see the same thing anyway, so it doesn't really matter for this wall. Again, I would just recommend reinforcing it off since you're playing ranked. Don't even worry about that unless you're doing some high level strat with the team. And if you are, then I tried to show you something new for that you didn't know about. I'd recommend shooting the glass on green window too. A lot of people rush this. You should put some utility back here for sure, because they can just armor in this really fast. You won't even hear them until it's too late. And that will not go well for the team. Yeah, that's pretty much everything though, guys. I hope you did enjoy this first setup video. I've never really done a video like this, so I do hope it helps out in your games. That's my goal here. Again, if you're new around here, before I end this video off, remember I do solo queue videos almost every day. I try to do like 4 or 5 a week at the least. So check those out. It's full gameplay. I do use strats that I will show you in these videos. If you want operator-specific strats as well, tell me down below. Like, somebody requested like Malusi strats, the zombie strats, stuff like that. I can also do videos on that stuff. Just tell me down below. A lot of people requested the operator setups though, or the site setups, not operator setups. So I had to come through for you. I literally got hundreds of comments about that, it seemed like. Maybe not 100, but probably close. So I did want to get this out for you guys quicker rather than later. Hope you're enjoying the solo queue videos of this season, and you enjoyed this one. If you did, leave a like down there below. That helps me out a ton. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.